Ashley, what's up next?
Next up is from Grace Kim. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. So Deadline is saying that CW is ending their output deal with Netflix, which I guess means CW shows will no longer just automatically end up on Netflix like they always have the last bunch of years. It says shows could still land on Netflix, but that CW will be taking open bids from all streaming services on a show-by-show basis. What do you think of this, and do you think a Disney Plus could end up not only showing their own original stuff, but other productions too?
Well, okay. First of all, Grace, thanks for the question. There's the main topic, and then you ask a really fascinating question at the end. We'll get to that in a second. Could this be more trouble for Netflix? Okay, so here's the basic deal. Since 2011, I believe, basically CW and Netflix have had this deal where everything that premieres on CW can end up on Netflix. You know, not while it's airing, but later, like most curated content on Netflix. They re-upped that deal, I believe, in 2016. Now, CW is not renewing that deal. And as Grace said, what kind of looks like is that it doesn't automatically mean shows won't go on Netflix. It just means now Netflix has got to bid against other streamers. Here's the full report from Deadline. The deal ending doesn't mean new CW series won't end up on Netflix, where CW shows traditionally have been among the strongest performers. The SVOD service just won't get them automatically via an output deal. Instead, it will have to bid for each show in a far more competitive environment than the streaming marketplace was in 2016. Past seasons of CW series that premiered through the current 2018-2019 season, such as Flash and Riverdale, will continue to stream on Netflix during the broadcast life of the series and beyond. What was really at question here was the new series coming up. We've got a Batwoman series. We've got a Riverdale spin-off series. I believe there's a Nancy Drew series. There are things like this coming out that now these no longer just automatically go to Netflix. These are now going to be up for bid, which means an Amazon Prime can bid for them, which means a Hulu can bid for them, which means a Disney Plus could bid for them. That opens up a separate topic. We'll get to that in a little bit of a second here. Rob, it seems like lately we've been talking about doom and gloom for Netflix, right? Disney's coming out with its major stuff. They're losing all the Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel stuff. Universal's going to be launching their own thing. They're taking away the #1 rated stuff on Netflix, whether you're talking about The Office and other programs like that. Now we're talking about how CW is killing the existing deal. They'll still be in the running, not. We talked before about how Netflix has seen a lot of this coming. Do you think this is a little bit more than they can handle, or do you think this is just a slight bump in the road for Netflix?
It's tough to say. I thought it's really interesting. The new Star Trek series, Star Trek Picard, is not on Netflix.
Internationally.
Internationally. But they had Star Trek Discovery, which they paid a lot of money to get.
Yes, they did.
And the fact that a Star Trek Picard series isn't... I think
it's
Netflix,
on Amazon Prime, by the way,
yes,
for
it's on
international
Amazon Prime,
or CBS domestically, Amazon Prime international,
and Space in Canada. And I think that, look, Netflix, we've talked about it. Netflix has been spending a lot of money.
Tons.
They owe billions of dollars back to the banks that they've borrowed it from. So, and this 3 years of a series and then they're done. It's very interesting. I think Netflix is trying to figure out what they're going to do, and they're being besieged on all sides by rivals they didn't have 3 years ago. And so
I love the way you just said that. They're being besieged by rivals that 3 years ago they didn't even have. That's an important distinction.
Yeah. And so they're trying to figure it out. And they're having their big content, like whether it's The Office or probably Friends, being taken off their platform, and those are big it's what viewers want. But I think Netflix is going to be around for a while. I don't think, look, I'm not panicking for Netflix. Like I'm happy to get The Bodyguard. I'm happy to get new seasons of whatever is going to show up there. I love their international programming. I don't think they're going anywhere. But there's something happening in the streaming world that's shifting. It's a sea change for everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out.
And again, we talked before about how Netflix saw a lot of this coming, and I don't think this is unexpected for them. I mean, they only re-upped for a couple of years that one deal. They knew this was the thing. This is why, once again, Rob, you've been talking about this. This is why Netflix have been spending an unreasonable, ungodly amount of money in original programming over the last number of years, because they knew this was coming. And the result is they have a very strong stable of original content that they're hoping, and I think probably will, carry them through the storm. Let's see how that turns out.
And international content. I mean,
And
they're all over the world
branching
now.
out even more. But in the email, there was a very interesting question that arose that I hadn't really considered before, and this opens up the door. You know, with Disney Plus coming out, we've all known, oh, this is where all the Disney stuff's going to end up. And they're going to do original Star Wars and original Marvel. We've all been looking at the Disney Plus network as a closed ecosphere. Understandably so. We've been looking at it that way. But is it possible that Disney may look, we're launching with all our content, this is going to be home of all our content, but we are also going to be a network. We are also going to take content, if there's other production companies that are making good shows and they need a home for it, Disney will open its doors, and Disney Plus, may be a home for other original content. Do you think it's possible that Disney could become a more all-encompassing network and have all of Disney's stuff, but also some other people's stuff? Or do you think they'll keep it a closed ecosphere? How do you see that?
Oh, I think nothing should be taken off the table when it comes to Disney. Because remember, their new programming, the programming that Disney, they've got ABC and whatever ABC is programming, but I don't see, if there's other family-friendly programming, and I consider the CW superhero shows pretty family-friendly, wouldn't it be interesting if you had Marvel and DC properties streaming on Disney Plus? I could see it happening, and it would be interesting.
I can't see how Warner would allow that. I just can't see how Warner would allow. Now,
well, they have their own streaming service, so it probably never would.
That's where Batwoman will probably end up.
Right, but I just don't take anything off the table. Disney's Disney, and they've got the cheddar to. If they want something, they're going to go pay for it and buy it. So we'll see.
I have such Game of Thrones brain. I'm like, Netflix is like King's Landing. Like, Disney's coming in hot, like Daenerys. I'm like, cannot even get out of it.
And pretty soon Bob Iger's going to go crazy.
Yeah.